Linga Yesungi, Lama Le Sorata, Kata Mayin Bahin Tabani, Yone Yondu, this are not only education.
So in this way, with one's fully concentrated body, speech, mind, that doing the supplication to the Guru, in this way, just if one concentrate, it is important.
Sure. Per conscienza, sono doji TV temba, ton santi temba, Nyingma dar Kharwan Tibet, Guru Mochiris.
In general, in Tibet, that the Dharma of the Sutrayana and then the secret Mantrayana teachings that which flourish in Tibet like the sunshine is all the grace of great Guru Pema Sambhava.
Chepardo Ongaji Che, Toba Chimbi Che, Denatan Jiji, Guru Mochi Rangi, Kai Sanji Katanji, Guru Mochi Rangi, Person Chimbon Sone, Nikando Igisoja Lasoban, Kosel Lasobat, Dini Mar Journey, Denis Purge Sane Youngsto Valley, Denis Guru Dunturki, Tanji Kachi Chati, Tanji Ted the Bay Gavati, Tanji Guru Mochiki, Tahasanji Lasso, Talama Kando Chisho Youngsto, and Guru Mochiso Javashata.
So, especially that all the old translation of the secret Mantrayana, and especially all the Dzogchen texts, the Tantras, everything mainly just been given all this teaching at the Samya Monastery in Tibet by Guru Rinpoche himself, and also that through his many different miracle performance that he brought all these tantric teachings, and especially all these three root deities like the Guru and meditational deity and Dagini practices, that everything transmitted and given teaching by Guru Pema Sambhava himself.
Guru Rinpoche Kini Kiva Nongidiri, Karva Tome Bagoni Tisum Sonjetan Turni, Yenengamber Sonchibajiris.
So Guru Pema Sambhava is, as explained before, that he is the manifestation of all the Buddhas of the past, present, future, and who attained complete enlightenment many eons before.
Shenang Jichu, Tiba Cheshin Jichu, Yang Doba, Yenengamber Chenbajid, Nand Sonchibajiris.
And especially that from the very beginning, that Guru Pema Sambhava, of course, that he got accomplished with all the just Sutrayana teachings and the Tantra, the outer and the inner tantric teachings.
Yenayang Aranso, that is on the Kaja to be Temandela, Maranso Jindongole, then Lono Machin, Kanama Muntrama, Sorata Vatini, and Lono Machin on the Kutu Septemberis.
But according to our just accumulation merit and based on our karma, that Guru Pema Sambhava just reborn in that northwest direction where there is the just Milky Lake, and then been manifested and reborn there as the many Dakinis did that supplication. So Guru Pema Sambhava born in that way.
Chesayade, Lama Japan Rimaki, the Yonguba, they said, Nariti Nongole, the Jagaji to Chimojela, so many, Rendin Chimojela, so Chetan Dejetive and the Terji Yen, and the Chimoje, so Lama Tembi to Nomares.
So then all these Dharma teachings, in a way, it has to follow according to the just actual tradition, in a way, receiving from the master to disciple. So that is why Guru Pema Sambhava also received all this teaching, and then he practiced into the 8 channel grounds, and also the just 8 meet with the 8 Vidyadharas, and then especially from that Chetan Tejetipa, that all these 8 Heruka deity practices were just rebuilt out, and then according to it has been just transmitted to each and every individual Vidyadharas. So as they carry through the practice, then according to our vision or our experience, that these 8 Mahasiddhas, they just did all their miraculous accomplishment, that which has been seen by everyone.
Rondon number of Chiku Kunduma, last of a tenant on the Gilao, Shambi Soton, Chesembi Soton, tenant on the Drubwang, Yevi to Chaton Days.
And also that the primordial wisdom, pure land from the Saman Batra, that just the manner of receiving this teaching and manner of getting accomplishment and practice and so forth, all these kind of manifestations were there.
Guru Mochiki Manchemba Mares, the Yenayong Chase had the Jipak and Yongiba teacher, that in Tansit Nombares.
That Guru Padmasambhava received all this teaching from all these great masters. It is not that Guru Padmasambhava really don't know this Dharma. It is just mainly that to understand that these teachings has to be transmitted from master to disciple and has to have that kind of transmission of the lineage.
Jiparo Denmark, Lama Dinmaki Gusen, you had thought, Nurmochi, Tomar, Gubati, Zay, but in Arizon, Nasijon, or then Tiki Lama Pusun Sobaji, Latan, Chiji Barshem, Tansi Yamaguba, Tediki, Jibasati, again, Chidin land, did out 2 years.
So that is why we also just follow the same tradition, that how Guru Padmasambhava just in the beginning, how he received and how he transmitted, and similar like that we also follow with that actual instruction, receiving from a qualified master and then getting through this practice, and especially that all these qualified masters, within them there is no any breakage of the samayas, and the lineage itself is like a golden chain, that it is completely very pure. And then when we just carry through the actual Dharma practice, it is always important to really examine one's own mind.
So in
case if one have any kind of just wrong thoughts or wrong views or wrong intentions, then at that moment one have to just really transform or change that kind of wrong thoughts and intentions and so forth. Then there is the greater level of mind and middle level of mind and the smaller level of mind. Out of that one have to just change or transform into the greater level of mind. And until we have the self-attachment and self-benefit, then it is not possible that one can accomplish with the Dharma. Every time that having that loving kindness to all sentient beings, with that intention, one have to just train oneself.
The dawn is sent the share the Kalekabor, the Naron, the Tite, do a Jirama again, the Social share Kalekao, the Sepsis, the Tukoti, Mama Hugu, younger.
So although it is difficult to just really have all this, Buddha, bodhicitta, the awakened mind, but there is also a way how we can just train ourselves, that always thinking and contemplating on it and doing that practice, then slowly it will just happen and become like spontaneously arising.
Shonju Sanchu Rinpoche, Mashipa, the Sheju Jison, Shonju Sen Rinpoche, when Mashipa, Shonju Sen Mebatan, Shonju Sen, the Yashiva Kosum.
So it is also been said the bodhicitta, the precious bodhicitta which has not been arised may just arise. So that with the bodhicitta which we don't have, we have to just give rise to it. And whatever the bodhicitta, the precious bodhicitta which has been arising within one's mind stream, that may not be degenerate. And then whatever one have just really arisen and not been degenerated, then that may just develop and increase just until one attain enlightenment. So that is why when we receive the Bodhisattva vow every morning, and even you have the Bodhisattva vow or Bodhicitta arising in your mind, that will develop, and even that something damage happen, it will be just again restore it. Even one has not just arisen the bodhicitta, then that is how we receive the bodhisattva vow, and through that generate the bodhicitta, and then in the future also that which develops within one's mind stream. So in this way, I also don't have much time, and then anyway you can just learn the bodhicitta and bodhisattva vows, and you all are just interested for just asking lots of questions, so you can ask questions and then carry through this just study that one can have a more clear understanding. So other than that, just something which does not make any sense or does not have much meaning, and asking such kind of question, maybe that there is no much benefit. And the history of the Dharma and the nature of the bodhicitta, and then the how one can receive, how one can develop, all about that, if one just study and then ask question, that is something beneficial. So just saying, oh, that Lama is just taught in this way, and then just try to just compare with some other else, and not necessarily not important in that way. And if just good Lama has explained it, then it is that what is according to the Dharma, then why one have to just compare with the that other Lama teaching or this Lama's teaching. More important is that just think and contemplate on the meaning and then apply into practice. All this Dharma, of course, first you have to learn and then understand, and what you have understood, then of course you have to contemplate, and then through that one have to just apply into practice. So if one does not apply into practice, then just only having the knowledge still that cannot liberate you.
Drubwang yaji tongya tena legu gugures. Yena yung gare na sumba jiru chokishi ya de gechen modes.
So in general, of course, you need to develop your, financial necessary things and then all the just some material belongings. But however, not just completely concentrating on that, and you need to have some kind of, satisfaction.
And
just this lifetime and the next lifetime, that the next lifetime is much more important, in that where one need to in this lifetime, just if one could have all these material belongings and wealth and everything good, that is also good.
Yenayong Cherong Soji, Lumbi Hikage, Panjo Dokunsi Yabosin Nyayate Kumbores.
But still, it is your just a kind of nature that even you have just gathered lots of wealth, but still it is difficult to preserve or maintain. So it is like just the culture, the nature of the culture. And the outside peoples that who come in America, and then they really just gather money and then really collect them. And you all that always just really don't have enough. According to the worldly just nature, that you really don't know how to use it.
And the
other peoples from outside America, that they just collect and they save lots, and why you cannot do that way? And also in the Dharma also it is explained, if you have the wealth or just the finance, then one also need to know how to utilize it. And so that one need to have that kind of knowledge or education, that how one can just really assemble all those material belongings, and at the same time one need to have that knowledge how one can utilize it. However, whatever it is, even the animals, they also know how to survive themselves within this lifetime. And what we need is the actual Dharma. So that is why just always try your mind to really turn towards the Dharma practice. And in our place, that there is an animal called like a abra, looks like a squirrel. So that this abra, the squirrel-like animal, that just in the winter it is kind of very cold and difficult. Then just he bring leaves, and then just where there is a sunshine, and then And then all those leaves, get dry, then put into the kind of like a tunnel.
Yung Thomas and Teneco, the Mumbo call a coron, don't you yagres.
And then also there is one kind of like a just a root that which is kind of eatable. In Tibetan we say toma. So then he also that grows on the ground like a grass. So then he also collected lots of them and put in his tunnel. So he also knows that in the winter he cannot get out and he cannot get food. Then in the summer he just collect all these things and that he have enough food for the just whole month of winter till summer come back. So it is all about joke. So today there is no specific instruction for any of the groups. So then you all can carry through your individual practices.
Oh, thank you.